Hi everyone, it's Leslie again, and today I'm going to be looking at a product called Liquid Pencil by Derivan. This stuff is, okay, there we go. This stuff is pretty cool actually, and I'm kind of excited about what it can do. It's basically combining the best qualities of graphite and watercolor together. Okay, the product comes in a variety of different colors. This one that I'm using is called red. There's blue. There's regular graphite, I think 3B and 9B, or gray 3 and 9-3, which is lighter and darker shades of regular graphite. There's sepia, I think there's yellow. I've chosen red, and I've chosen re-wettable, okay, because I wanted to get as much of the watercolor characteristics as possible. There is a permanent selection, which would probably work better for building up layers, so that every layer that you put on top will just build on one another, because when I re-wet this, it tends to lift, which is what I wanted. I want it to work like a watercolor. So it's pretty thick. Like, yeah, this is probably better show you. It's thick. It's like a blob of graphite. And I went on to the site and downloaded their MDS sheet or whatever. And apparently this has a polymer in it, an acrylic polymer, which is the binder in it, but it's less than 20%. So it doesn't become permanent. I'm not sure if the permanent one is a higher acrylic binder, but it does have an acrylic binder. It's just very, very small. Okay? And there's a lot of things that you can do with it. This is a little test that I did earlier just to see what it'll do. I'll scan all these and put them on the website like I do. And it's pretty neat. Like, it'll blend the graphite out of whatever you put down, but it doesn't bring the red with it. The red, I think, is solely within the polymer binder and will not be blended out with a dry media blender. Okay? You can erase it. It doesn't erase all the way. It's not 100%. You can lift it, though, with water when it's still, well, once it's dry and while it's still wet. Okay, I did a little sketch. I'm pretty stoked, actually, about this stuff. It's neat. It's got a lot of possibilities to it. It's fairly new. We've only had it for 6 months, I guess. Anyway, let me show you what it does. So I'm gonna wet this. Sorry, I have a cat on my table, so I don't know if she's going to make an appearance, but she won't move, so I'm not going to make her. Oh, artists and their cats. Luckily, she's not licking her privates on camera. Okay, so see, this works almost exactly like watercolor. It's got a fairly thick pigment though, so, I mean, and the pigment is the graphite, so it's sedimenting a lot. And it doesn't move very well. Like, I don't think there's any oxgall in it, which is what helps watercolors plume and move. It's like a cicative or surfactant. I'm not sure, whatever. It doesn't have any wetting agents that helps the pigment move, so it doesn't tend to stray far from where you put it. Okay, so I mean, that's graphite. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, so that's the application wet and wet. Now, if you use a blending stomp, or I'm sure other blenders like tissue and stuff too will work. I've got a little dry wet spot still, so I'm just gonna see that comes up. I'm going to move this so you can see. Now when you blend this, when it's blended, it burnishes like graphite. Like it's burnishing the graphite was a very matte kind of velvety finish, which I actually really liked. But this, when I blend it, is now burnishing to a kind of shiny graphite. Okay. And it actually burnishes everything. But if you notice that it blends out, excuse me, but it doesn't take the red with it. It's really just blending the graphite. Okay, so you could work that up for very, very subtle blends. You could blend over the whole thing. It's very versatile. Now, I think it would be very difficult though to blend this here. You would want to put another layer on or possibly re-wet that. Okay, it will erase. Okay, excuse me, it will erase out. But not completely. You can see I'm having a tougher time where it's darker. And I think it's because it's thicker. And so where it's thicker, it has a larger amount or a larger concentration of acrylic there, the acrylic copolymer that is in this. The more acrylic copolymer that you have, the less likely it's going to lift and move because that's the plastic. Wow, that's really doing some awesome stuff. It's really kind of neat. Okay. See, this is a regular gum eraser. Ooh, ugh. This worked well because it, you actually almost need to agitate it a bit. Like I'm pushing really uber hard on this. Okay, so you can erase it, but that looks like it's probably gonna be it. You know what, I'm interested to try, aw, really? Gross. I have an electric eraser, so I'm gonna go look for that. Oh, and the batteries are still working. How exciting. Okay, so I have a little handheld electric eraser. This isn't a great quality one. And it's really having no effect. Okay, that worked no better than just regular erasing. Okay, and it will re-wet. Okay, because I've chosen the re-wettable one. So this is just clear water. And you lift almost identically, well, it is identical to watercolor. And you can see that there is some staining. You're not going to be able to lift completely. So you get very, very similar effects to erasing and re-wetting and lifting. Okay, I'm going to scrub a bit with a nylon. I use nylons if I want to scrub out an area in watercolor that might be a little bit staining or difficult to get up. And I use a 1/4-inch nylon because it's a little stiffer and it gives me more scrubbability. But you need to be careful. This paper is not cotton rag, and I'm starting to get it to fuzz because it's actually picking up the fibers. Okay, so this would work a lot better on 100% cotton. I would get better lifting results for sure. But that comes up much, much cleaner than the eraser did. So you can lift up some of the stain. Okay, one of the things that I thought was really interesting about this is the fact that I could use it maybe as a transfer sheet. If you've seen before, I did a how-to on how to make your own erasable graphite transfer sheets. Well, you know what? This works amazing. Forget that other video. This was so incredibly awesome. Now, granted, this is red. I think I'm going to get the gray 3 or whatever the lowest, like the lightest regular graphite rewettable one that they have. I'm not going to use the permanent one because I think this is transferring because it's rewettable. I'm just assuming. I don't know for sure. This works awesome because I'm rubbing it and it's not coming off at all. Well, a little bit. I mean, it has to be able to come off a bit. But using a ballpoint, and I'm pushing, this is like regular writing, and this is like I'm pushing a little bit hard. Okay, look at that. That's awesome sauce. Okay, now that to me made this stuff amazing pants. And check this out. Totally erasable. I totally embedded the pen in here, though I pushed a little hard. Okay, so that is liquid pencil. Truly marrying graphite and watercolor together in this amazing pants product. I'm really, really stoked about this. This was really awesome. I'm really happy that I bought it. And thank you so much for watching because you guys watch, I buy this stuff and I try it out. And I thank you for that because it helps my art. And I don't think I'd do it if you weren't watching. So thank you. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Mm-hmm.